guys, welcome to another video. The weather here is taking a turn. Let me show you. It is absolutely torrential out there. So I've taken refuge and a wee cafe here down at Legazpi Port. So I wanted to talk about things you can do in your retirement. After the last video, I mentioned that I've been particularly busy through the last 6 months in my retirement. So I've been retired here since the 1st of October last year, 2024. So it's coming up for 6 months. End of this month, March, that'll be 6 months. And I've been extremely busy with different things. We have a son, me and my wife, who's 10, and he goes to a special school for his autism. So I'm busy like taking him every day, picking him up. That's Monday to Friday and sometimes on a Saturday as well. For your situation, obviously it's going to be different, and there's another few factors to take into account. But there's something I can tell you that at the end of this video I'll tell you about one thing you can do. It doesn't matter if you're solo, if you're married, or if you have a partner. If you're in the Philippines or anywhere, there's one thing you can do, and anyone can do it, and it's enjoyable. So like I said, there's some different factors to take into account. If you're solo and you're coming to the Philippines or Thailand or anywhere, if you're on your own, this video might not apply completely. There will be some things you can take from this, and you might have other things that you would rather do, but just if you're not retired yet, I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that you could do. Now, if you're married or if you have a partner, I mean, I'm going to talk about the Philippines because that's where I am. It depends if you're single or if you have a partner, but you'll obviously do things together if you're not alone. So that makes things a bit easier. If you're on your own, you need to find things to do. You can't just stay at home all the time. And you go to a mall here in the Philippines, okay, you can kill maybe a couple of hours, but you can't do that all the time. What are you going to do the rest of the day? Well, what I do is, I mean, like I said, I'm very, very busy at the moment because I have a new online business. But what I do is I read a lot. Now, if you like to read books, that's great, because what I did was I went and bought a Kindle. I'm on my, I think, 3rd Kindle, and I find that it's easy because you can take it with you anywhere. I've got one of these small bags and it fits inside that. Sorry if you're getting distracted with this curtain here. It keeps blowing over the camera. Let me just move it a wee bit. So I find that I read for maybe an hour or two at night when I go to my bed. If I'm not having a drink, then I read. And with Kindle Unlimited, you get access to a lot of books. I think the subscription price is about £7.99 UK pounds a month, and it gives you access to all these books. It might have gone up recently to £9 something, I think. Anyway, that is brilliant if you like to read. So that's one thing. If you play golf here in the Philippines, you can play golf just about anywhere. I mean, even here in our province, which is in the boonies, I like to keep saying, you can play golf here. I used to play golf, but I find it's a waste of a good walk these days, so I tend not to. The other thing I started doing when I came here, and I had this in my mind before I retired, was every morning go for a walk. And if you look back to my previous videos, going back 6 months, you'll see quite a few of these videos I'm out walking. The problem is, after I think it was about 3 months, I had a problem in my left knee, the cartilage. I went to the hospital to get it x-rayed, and that's what it was. So that kind of put the kibosh on my morning walks, but it's starting to get a lot better now. So I'm thinking to rekindle again. I'm thinking to rekindle my morning walks. Maybe next week, as soon as, because I've been actually taking a lot of superfoods, I like to call them. After I had the problem with my knee, I had a problem with swelling in my left ankle, left foot, and I think it's due to bad circulation. So I did a wee bit of research on YouTube. Aye, I know. And what they say is you need to look after your legs. That's the first thing that goes when you get older. Now, you may agree or not, it doesn't matter, but there's 6 foods that are good for your legs. Oats. Now, I religiously take oats every morning, even before I had this problem. So, oats, there's avocado, eggs, berries. So that's blueberries, strawberries. What was the other ones? Can't remember now. Avocado, eggs, oats, berries. I'll come back to that. But there were 6 superfoods they said you should eat. Oh, salmon, that was one of them. So that's 5. And the guy said you should have salmon as part of your diet 2 to 3 times a week. It's high in omega-3, and he said this is good for your legs and your joints. Listen to me. Anyway, so the morning walks, if you don't already do it, I suggest doing that when you retire. It's good for you. You can do 10, but I used to do between 5 and 10,000 steps in the morning. I'd go down to the local baker shop, get some fresh bread at 7 in the morning, and walk back, or pick up some fresh coconut, fresh buko. So that's good to do. You only need to do it once during the day, or throughout the day, and you're maintaining your health. So this wee cafe that I've come to, I'm only here on my own actually. It's pretty nice. It's quite busy. There's a few people in, but it's right next to the water. As you can see, it's a bit wild today. It wasn't. I came down here on the bike, and as you can see, it's a bit wet. Anyway, I've got my wife's poncho, so I stopped and put that on. It keeps you dry. Brilliant inventions. So anyway, getting back to what I said at the beginning of the video about this one thing that anyone can do if you're solo, if you have a partner, if you're in the Philippines, if you're anywhere in the world. And before you poo-poo it, let me explain. Painting. Now you might say, what? I can't do painting. I don't have any artistic bones. You don't need it. Go onto YouTube. Well, you're probably on YouTube. You are on YouTube now, watching this. Search for Bob Ross. Now, Bob Ross, he's dead now. He was an American artist, and he made a series of programs in the US, which are all on YouTube, and he does oil painting on canvas. And now, I was always artistic when I was at the school. In fact, I almost went to art college, right? So I've always been interested in it, but you don't have to be an expert or have any experience. When you watch the video, it's only a 25-minute video, and he does a painting from start to finish in 25 minutes. It's unbelievable. When you watch it, you'll think, I could do that. It's easy. He takes you step by step and he explains what he's doing. What he does, I don't know what you call it exactly, but the style, but he uses a wet canvas. So he puts down like a liquid clear or sometimes a liquid white on the canvas. So it's wet when you start to paint. And the reason for that is it lets you blend in the colours. So when you watch him paint, he has a big thick brush and he just whacks it all on there. And then you think to yourself, that's rubbish, he's ruined it. But you see what he does, how he brings out everything in the painting at the end of one of his videos. And you'll watch it and you'll think, wow, amazing. I did my first one. I got the canvas, I got all the oil paints. I'll put some on the screen here just to show you some of the paintings that I did. I did about 25 of them, and actually I had 4 of them in an exhibition in the Middle East, but it was during COVID, so I never got any sales. In fact, the exhibition had to finish early for safety reasons. So most of them I gave away to friends and family. I did sell a couple, but that was it. So he uses the wet canvas in it, and you can blend all the colours, and it's really, really easy. Now, I did my first one in about an hour and a half, and I was covered in paint from head to toe. It was all over the place, even on my face. Don't ask me how. You watch him when he's painting, right? He's wearing a shirt, with a collared shirt, and he doesn't get any paint on him. I don't know how. But after the first one, I kept going, and I got it down. I think the quickest I did one was about 50 minutes, and I would say more than acceptable. Now, what he does is it's all landscape paintings. So if you make a mistake, it doesn't really matter. It's not like you're painting a portrait or something like that. You can just paint a tree over it or something like that, and then he does it basically from his mind. So he'll think of a scene and then he'll just start to paint it. But you could, I did some of mine from photographs. So I would have the photograph pinned onto the board, the canvas. And I went and bought all the equipment, the easel and everything. And yeah, it was fine. Just stick it on the edge of the canvas and paint it. And you'll be surprised how well you got on. So I've ordered some food here. It's lunchtime. And the food I've ordered is called lugao. So I'll show you when it comes. This is the lugao with the egg. And she's put some wee additional bits in. So this is like rice porridge or congee, if you're familiar with it. It's like overcooked rice. It's nice. Oh, that was superb. There's a lot of ginger in it. I think garlic, and the bits you could see there, that was chicharron and some pork meat, as well as the boiled egg. Really good. So another thing you could do in your retirement is to cook. When I say cook, I mean experiment. Like I've been doing a lot of baking because you're here in this province, I can't get things like pies. So I made my own. Really, really easy. I was surprised how easy it was actually. The first one was not great. The second one turned out really well. So I made like a mince. In Scotland we call it a mince round. It's ground beef with like a gravy and carrots, onions, and a pie. And I made, the last one I made was, what was that? Chicken and mushroom. So I've been getting into the baking, cooking, just to fill in some time again. And it's cheaper to eat and better for you anyway if you eat at home. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.